Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wildstar. Today what I'd like to do is kind of show you the first adventure that I've unlocked. And I do believe, if you've maybe seen other videos, specifically I know Force has one out on adventures, that you get different adventures based on if you're the Exiles or the Dominion. In this case, I have an adventure called the Hycrest Insurrection. At level 15, you get these adventures. They are kind of, maybe you would recognize them as scenarios in World of Warcraft, but they, so far, are choose-your-own-adventure sets, where you get a choice of what type of adventure you want to run. And sometimes, at least from the description they've given from their dev speaks, is I think they could do about anything with it. There may even do, some things might even be solo missions, where maybe you're a Chua hang gliding through rings a la Pilot Wings. I really don't know. I haven't really been able to see much of it, or at least especially on the high end. Now at level 15 you don't automatically unlock it. You have to actually go and fulfill a quest to get it, to at least get the first one. I don't know about the others. But you go in, you get it, and then you get this little group finder, which is much like you might see in other MMOs where you just hit the button and choose what you want to do. Now you can set multiple roles. I do like that. Most group finders, or at least group finders in Final Fantasy, wouldn't let you do that. I think WoW lets you choose multiple roles, but I can choose tank or DPS. I'm going to go ahead and try, I'm going to go screw up for both. I will probably get it if I go on for tank. Now this may be difficult. Now real quick before I go in, I'll just go over my tank build. Every tanking item I have as a warrior is here in my support, and unfortunately you may see I only have two things. These are the only things that really give me threat. I have Menacing Strike, which is a basic attack. Now I'm going to go ahead and augment that to the final level here because that's additional damage. I get 16 attack damage per point. The next is Jolt, which requires kinetic energy. Has a 6-second recharge and 3 charges. And it does a decent amount of damage in a cone area. I'll go ahead and augment that because that's also 130 threat. Now I do have a Plasma Wall Shield, which reduces my damage taken by 30%. That is kind of nice. But what I've noticed is that if I proc that, while I may heal myself a little bit, or while I may take less damage, I'm still doing damage, but it doesn't have a threat modifier. And the downside there as well is that I feel like I'm not generating enough threat with it, and monsters will leave me. And in fact, it could, I don't know if it's my character, my playstyle, or the fact that players really aren't giving me time to get aggro, maybe because these are adventures and don't really need to have as close-knit of a Holy Trinity as other types of events, but I definitely have been having some problems. As you can see, this is all I have. I have really no way to get snap aggro, and that's something that concerns me a little bit. I do have this ability here called Atomic Spear that allows me to get 175 threat with a decent amount of damage. But the downside is that this requires me to deflect attacks. And I don't really have a very high deflect chance, which means I haven't seen it proc that much. So instead, I'm just going to grab these two to get my aggro. I don't really have anything in my assault tree. And let's see. I'm going to have my utility path here. I have kick for doing knockdowns, prevent actions. I've got Plasma Blast, which is a taunt. In fact, I'll go ahead and get that up as well to increase the taunt duration. That's going to be the only real source of snap aggro that I have. Unfortunately, it has a 15-second cooldown. I am also going to go ahead and level up energy reserves. I'm just going to go ahead and real quick and set that. So what are these? Well, first I have Kick, which will knock enemies down. I have Grapple, which will pull enemies in. I rather like abilities like that. I could alternatively use Leap, but the reason why I want to use Grapple is because it destroys one interrupt armor, just like Kick can. Also, I have Flashbang, which does range damage and it blinds enemies, as well as allowing strike-through chance, which makes it so that my attacks will have a less chance of being deflected, which should help with aggro. It also destroys one interrupt armor. You may see a theme here. High-end enemies, such as bosses, will have these armors. You can't just interrupt them. They'll have an armor where you have to destroy a certain amount of it, so each attack will destroy one piece of armor. Most bosses have 2 armor. So what that means is I'll probably lead off with a grapple or a flashbang, or I'll do grapple and flashbang, and then finish off with kick. By the time I'm done with these two, the armor should be destroyed, and then kick should knock them down. And this could be very useful because most bosses get knocked down for a good amount of time because you have to put a lot of effort into it. The last ability that I haven't really talked about is this, Emergency Reserves. It restores shield, grants 1 interrupt armor, so I can be not interrupted. It has a 25-second cooldown. So So that's quite nice. It says 6 seconds of that, so that's not too bad. It might be difficult to time it right, but I would rather have that than the energy reduction here at Plasma Wall. So as you can see, I might have some difficulty because there is no real snap aggro. That's my basic attack. There's the cone for jolt. Those are pretty much my 2 threat builders. There's my flashbang. And there's... So, to help me tank, I have Stance Juggernaut, which increases my resistance by 5% and my max shields by 732, and my threat generation by 200%. Even with that, I've seen some issues, and you might see it when I go in, but we'll hopefully be able to complete this adventure without too much problems. I will be able to activate it to get 10 seconds of no kinetic energy decay, as well as reducing damage taken by 50%, increasing threat by 25%, but I also reduce my own damage done by 25%. So we'll go ahead and we will join the fight into the Hycrest Insurrection. Alright, here we are. We are in our adventure. So we basically get forced out of this holographic ship. We are out and about. Alright, so looking at the UI, there we go. Now I'm in. I can see that I am the tank, so right there, I am selected as the tank, so excellent. First and foremost, I want to kind of point out this is the entire map. You have this entire zone to work with, so it's like a little zone in the world. And so you come in here into the farmhouse.
A new opportunity has presented itself.
Alright, so we have a debriefing. They speak for all the Cassian farmers victimized by Dominion military. They want to leave the Horde place, start new lives elsewhere on Nexus. Perhaps even join the Exiles. Says perhaps with leaving home, him and the other farmers aim to fight. They kick the Dominion scum back to Ilium. And you see they have a few disagreements about how to proceed, so this is where we come in. So we get to choose our mission, the farmer's daughter. After a dispute with the troops, Farmer Takum's home has been ransacked and his daughter has been taken captive. Or we can do the science of revenge. The notorious war criminal Twitchy Gru has set up a lab near the fields. He's wanted for subjugating numerous civilians to horrific experimentation. Or lastly, leveling the field. An army is only as strong as its equipment. A serious blow to their supplies could level the playing field. So we could do any one of these. I've done leveling. We could do either one of these. Actually, no, the farmer's daughter was the one we've seen last time. Someone wants science. We're going to do that. We'll take science. Yeah, winner with 3 votes. So there we go. So as you can see, it uses a voting system. Whichever one gets the most votes is the one that is the one you get. I mean, obviously with 5 people, you're going to... There's a possibility. Let me see. If 3 people vote for 1 each and then 2 people vote for 2, there's a chance of a tie. So I imagine it would randomly pick from there. Alright, so we look at our map. We can see we've got 3 things here. Our mission is to kill the Dominion scientists. Okay, get my taunt on. Excellent. We've got a few more of those to go. Now these missions can be either action-based or stealth-based. You can be very sneaky. Like you'll see those circular lights. Those are searchlights, so we can avoid those. We hit those, they might call on reinforcements. So I'm going to go ahead and taunt, and I'm actually going to pull this guy in. What you may notice is that they do have snipers. You see that red light coming in? That's them taking aim at us. And you can avoid that by doing a dodge. And that's that green circle right there. That is my spell slinger here giving some healing out. So you can see there are some that are very large areas. Unfortunately, I figured we were going to take him out because the sniper was hitting one of our allies. I figured we had aggro, but apparently that doesn't always happen. They may aim at you, but they may not actually be aggroed to you. Like, see right there, there's that shot. But notice how they're not actually coming in to fight. So you don't have to, so I may not have to worry about that. That's something to keep in mind. Now, I did get rezzed, and looks like someone else needs to get rezzed here. Alright, unfortunately, you do get ratings at the end, and dying in the adventure does impact your rating, so I have to be careful about that. Notice we've got a big group coming in here. We're trying to avoid getting seen, it would look like. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, searchlight. Okay, good. We're good so far. So I would say one thing about the adventures that I would like to kind of see is maybe going towards more a Old Republic version. I know in Old Republic you had story choices, much like this does. Pull you in. Alright, he lost his armor, so I knocked him down. But in this, it's popular vote that seems to decide. What I think I'd like to see is maybe more of a random system. Like, everybody pick which one they want, and then the game randomly pick one of the heroes their answer, kind of like Old Republic does it, rather than popular vote. Because what's going to happen, and this always seems to happen with MMOs, is that people are going to find the most efficient way to do a fight or to do an instance, and they're always going to say, okay, we need to pick this because it gives the most rewards, or we're going to pick this because it's the easiest. And that's what's going to happen. They'll find the path of least resistance is what they'll find. And so by eliminating that with a random system, I think might be a little better. Alright, so we have different choices. The Great Escape. Several families want to leave Hycrest, but with increased security around the gate, they need help. The Keymaster. Dominion's activities are shrouded behind a curtain of firewalls. Get their encryption codes, and the plans will be revealed. Or Jailbreak. Several farmers were plotting against the Dominion when their secret meeting was raided. These farmers are ready and willing to fight for the cause. So these are the same three that I've gotten. So even though I had this different starting one, I have the same three following ones. So it looks like you're even though you could multiply these to find out how many different possible combinations there are, there may not be as big of a discrepancy as I thought. I think there's like 12 of these. Let's do I like the Keymaster. Wins with 4 boats. There we go. So let's see, 3 options on the first, 3 on the second, that's 6, and then of course 3 more, that's like 18 different variations. Think about it, 18 variations in one adventure, one dungeon. You could run this 18 times and do it differently each time. Of course, I have no idea how much of an impact they'll have. Like, getting the farmhouse or helping the farmer's daughter gave us a kind of a starting zone down here at the farmer's house, but it seems like we're still going to this spot here. So it may not make as big of an impact, but I think for future adventures, since this is only the first one, I think later ones you'll actually impact how you do additional missions. Like right now, we're rushing in the middle of the day. I remember the last time I did this mission was in the middle of the night. So whether or not that makes an impact or not, I couldn't really say for sure. But I do like this whole choose your own adventure thing. You know, I do like it. It's just kind of hard. I wish it was maybe either more voice acted or it was easier to get the text from the top, because that while you're running around, that text goes away real quickly. Of course, you'll notice it does appear in the chat in the lower left, so you can catch up that way. So here we go. We need to get these encryption code. We've got this intelligent agent. All right, so they're getting ready to fire. I'll go ahead and get the aggro. Now, all the friendly telegraphs you're seeing, I can turn off. I can also turn off enemy telegraphs if I want to. You can do that all in the HUD. So don't think that, oh, just because you're seeing all these colors happening, that you have to see them all. Alright, I'm going to do my taunt. My taunt happens in a line. I think I missed the other guy. So I need to try and get... Alright. Let's get my hit on both of these guys, so I gotta get them in this area here.
Double kill.
Alright, gonna refresh my shields here. Alright, got him in a line. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and break through this guy's armor. If I click on this guy, you'll notice this number in white here. That's the interrupt armor. You have to break through that. So I'm gonna use my flashbang, my grab, and then my knockback, or my knockdown. Looks like he got knocked out of the zone for the knockdown though, so I wasn't able to actually knock him down. So far, I'm actually doing much better of keeping aggro on this group, but this group is actually letting me go in and grab aggro rather than fighting right away. And the last time I was in this adventure, I had a very, very aggressive group, and they were going in much first. And I just could not hold aggro against them. So if you do an adventure, please keep that in mind, especially at this level, especially if you have a warrior. We just don't have snap aggro abilities. We can't really go in and hit really hard. We have taunts. That's the bulk of it. Alright, so I've gone through those, and now we actually get to see some armor dropping. This is a heavy chest piece. Let's see. I would gain armor. I would gain finesse and strike through, losing brutality and insight. That's fine. I lose deflect, but I gain strike through and crit. That's probably more DPS, but it does have armor. Is there any other heavy armor users? Spellslinger, medic, another warrior? Or no, I don't know if they use heavy. I'll hit greed. Don't think I necessarily need that. Oh, looks like I got a pattern too. I just got a crafting pattern here. Very nice. Okay, so moving forward, what's this? Why can't I... Oh, I'm stealthed. Star pattern. Alright, so I'm interested in showing you guys the rest of this, because this does conclude on a pretty nice large fight, and I think it's pretty cool what they've done with this and the kind of story that they portray. Alright, let's kind of go and move forward, investigate the farmer disappearances. Okay, you have to walk by. See, it's nice to see someone actually knows how that works. You walk by regular people, you blend in, almost a la Assassin's Creed. Bloodstained dagger. Okay, so... A Dominion unit just released a signal flare. From where? Uh-oh. Oh, Naru got hit. Okay. That's bad. So that right there, that's gonna hurt. This is what's killed my group in the past. If they summon a Dominion response team... See, there we go. Walk through the citizens and notice how we've got this thing. It's almost like Assassin's Creed, where you just blend in with the crowd. Once they summon those response teams, they send a ton of people after you. And that's where my group was dying a lot, is we would just constantly have a bunch of enemies to fight, and we would just end up getting overwhelmed. Okay, about round back. Okay. So this is a little new. I don't remember investigating the dagger, but then again, my last group, again, I said was kind of aggressive and ambitious, and they moved very quickly. So I didn't quite to see all of it. So what's this? So yeah, this is new. This is very new. I haven't gone through this before. We're going through the basement entrance. And we're doing investigations now. Okay.
Do not trifle with me.
Oh! Alright. Oh, breakout, hold S. Okay, I'm going to try and grab aggro on all of them. Oh, jeez. It's going to be very difficult. I'm losing kinetic energy because I'm getting stunned.
Double kill.
I should have probably popped... after the first stun, I should have probably popped my armor. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I now have interrupt armor. Oh. Good catch. Very nice. Oh! Whirlwind, get out of the whirlwind. Alright. Knocking him down. There we go. So you saw I did a grip, I did a pull in. I then used my flashbang, and then I knocked him down. He doesn't have any... Oops, get out of that. Whoops, I dived in by accident. So I'm trying to keep him kind of faced away from the group. Alright, so I'm going to try and knock off his armor again. Pull in, knock him down. Oh, he must have gotten part of the armor back. Looks like we got a decent group going on here, actually. I've been healed up for most of the part. I haven't felt like I've been low on life. So the healer's doing a great job. The DPS is letting me do what I need to do. Alright, so the military's been doing some horrible things to innocent people. Everyone in Hycrest could be in danger. Alright, let's get out of there. So that's different. So that's nice to see. So even though we chose the same second path, I do believe we chose the same second path as I did before, it had a slightly different outcome. But again, I didn't get a chance to take in what was happening last time, and this group's doing pretty good. So now we have our last mission. We get to choose either clearance, all Hycrest is on lockdown, no one is allowed in or out of the city, tensions are mounting, if something isn't done, a riot could break out. Raid warning, rebels have acquired several munitions to help the Dominion, but something about them seems a bit off. And the underground, Chua war blimps make open rebellion against the Dominion impossible. Lyson claims to have just a thing to bring them down in the bunker below his destroyed barn. I'm kind of interested in that. I want to try that one. Someone else wants to do raid warning. I'm going to do underground. And raid warning won it with 3. That's fine. Raid warning, I can't remember if that was the one we did last time or not. It'll be interesting to see if I get a different in-boss, because the way this works out, it almost looks like you could cripple the Dominion's efforts here. Because when I did this last, we had to fight a pretty big, like a caravan with some heavy munitions. And I'm wondering if you go through the right options, if you destroy the armaments that they have, you get the option where there's something in the basement that could help you destroy the war blimps and things like that, if the fight would be different. It's quite possible. There's all sorts of little variables that are in effect here that I just don't know about. I would have to kind of do this multiple times. Okay, we're shutting down the automated watchtower controls. I would like a synopsis somewhere, honestly. Is it over here, my tasks? Event. Here we go. Lead in the victories with this list. Okay, raid warning. Disarm weapons. Disarm weapon skiff. Disarm weapon skiff. Okay, so great. It is over here on the right, but I have such a huge quest log. What they really should do is... These are ordered in proximity, right? This whole thing here. Whatever's closest to you should be at the top. But it's ordered also by category. Tasks and events go at the bottom. So event is on the bottom, but it really should be on the top because it's what I'm doing right now. Oh, the Dominion forces have found the exit. Alright, we got a group getting fought down over here. Let's try and help them out. I'm going to grab aggro. Pull in. Gotcha.
Double kill.
Cool, I was able to help out there. Get out of that circle.
Triple kill.
We're fighting awfully close to the road here. We gotta be very careful. Take this guy out while they don't notice. Alright. Dominion will be moving in on our locations unless you can disarm the tracking devices. Alright, so disarm the skiff at Sunripe and Checkpoint Gamma. Let's go ahead and check the map. So we're there and there. The beautiful thing about this too is even though you've got kind of the same stories going on, your group may decide to take a different path. You may decide to go along the main roads, killing everything you find. You may decide to sneak through fields. However your group wants to do it. This feels like something that would be better with a group of friends with voice communication. I'll be quite honest. Because you could... It really has the role-playing aspect of a role-playing game. Whoa! 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 Massive explosion, apparently. Alright. Let's get in there. Very quickly. Come on. Bye-bye. Alright. I gotta get them.
Double kill.
Now, there doesn't appear to be an immediately obvious way to find out if you have aggro other than seeing what the target of target is. I do like that, like, Final Fantasy XIV gives you an aggro bar on the party thing over here, or in a list of hostile creatures and things like that. I would love to see something like that. That is probably something that could be modded in. Alright, 2 remaining. Delete Dominion attackers. Or delete Dominion attackers. Defeat Dominion attackers. Alright, many of the city guards were dispatched during the last encounter. Meet with me once I have a plan. Alright, excellent. This is going much more smoothly. The last run I did, honestly, was making me wonder if I was going to enjoy doing tanking or if I was going to enjoy doing adventures at all. I really think the group makes a big difference. And this group is doing everything right and pretty much doing everything by the numbers. You'll notice that some of my allies are getting ready to attack. You'll see their action bar or the telegraph where they're aiming at the enemy. The spell slingers that are doing that are using a charge up move that I'm familiar with, where it does the most damage when it's fully charged up, but it takes time, and they aren't releasing it right away when it has a charge. They're waiting. Now, granted, there is a time limit I have. I have to hit the enemy before it goes off, because it will go off after a few seconds. But they are giving me that opportunity, and then we get in and we do immediate damage right away. So the game will not progress, of course, until everybody is inside, so we're just waiting on one more person. So you don't have to worry about being locked out. You must gather your party before venturing forth, is basically what I'm saying. Oh, hello, weapon attachments. Assault power and insight, so that's deflect and attack. I would probably prefer the tech, because I'm not using any assault powers for my tank build, so that obviously is not going to be a need for me. I'll let someone else have that for need. I will greed. Want to be aware of your stats and what you're doing. Now, I could use that for a DPS build, but I don't have one really set up yet. And since it's the end of the beta today, I am pretty much not going to worry about it. Now, I had mentioned when I did my overview that you have different action sets that you can switch between. And you notice I could do that on the fly while I'm here in the instance. I don't have to be out of the instance. So I could switch over to the DPS right now if I really wanted to. But you don't have what I could see as multiple armor sets, so you still have to manually put the armor on that you need. Oh yeah, this is going a little bit differently, I think. We're in here. Okay. What is our current mission? Lead the victory, disable security systems. Alright, so that was one system. Where's the other system? Oh, way up there. Grab aggro. Okay, he is on me.
Double kill.
Oh, I got a costume. Huh, that's funny. Okay, we're good. I like this. I think it's kind of neat that I'm actually playing this mission with all these enemies and I'm just sneaking around rather than going around and fighting everything. I don't have to spend time fighting trash packs. I can just come in here and we get this done. Alright, security systems are all down, so get to the rally point. Rally point is just up ahead, so let me go grab a... Well, no, they're too close. Grab a costume from these guys. Let's do this. We may have a problem. Guard's coming right for us. Oh my god, he's coming right for us. Hoop. Just go through, I guess. Yep, he's not attacking me. Alright, let's go on in.
Welcome to Hycrest. Prepare to die.
Alright, so this is definitely different. I believe I had to fight the same guy, but he was waiting for us at one of the outposts last time I fought him. And now we were actually fighting him inside this room here. Is he gonna aggro, or is it just his guards? Just you and me, mano a mano. You and me and my gods! Okay, so he is just kind of sitting there and throwing guards at us.
Double kill.
Alright, now here he comes. Aggro. Okay, he's only got 1 armor, so I'm going to go ahead and break that and knock him down. Oh, apparently not. This may not be the same guy I fought before. Alright, so I've got multiple enemies now. So I'm going to try and get aggro by using my long-range shots. Got a taunt. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, because see this? Now he's got this golden shield. He has basically no way to interrupt him now. He's constantly throwing on this buff. You can see it gets kind of hectic, because now I got to deal with ads as well as him. And see, there's even ads over here that I haven't taken care of. So I'm going to use my pull-in to kind of make sure that I do get that. Get the taunt out there.
Double kill.
I probably want to turn off friendly signals. The only downside to turning off friendly telegraphs is that if there's a heal over time effect, I won't be able to see it. Or if there's a damage over time effect that I could use for to bring an enemy in. Okay. Oh, cute. Get out of that stun. Excellent. He didn't actually run away this time. Last time he ran away. Achievement, Cunning Stroke. So it played out a little bit differently. Last time I did this, we fought him once and he ran away. This time we actually got to take him out, it looks like. Alright, their leader's dead. The rebels and I were able to nab the chief's officers. I shall question them, see if they have anything useful to say. Alright, so we get Heavy Feet, Armor with Tech. I am going to lose Brutality and Finesse. That's okay, but it is pure Tech, which is Support, Power, and Armor. I will hit... Is it Heavy? Heavy. Need.
Simulation complete. I suppose next time I shall have to try harder.
So there we go. That's the simulation, and this was a very different experience than what I had last time. The last one I did, I had to fight a... How did we do, actually? We got gold. Excellent. So I died once and still got gold. And you get these little things, like when you beat a simulation, you get little, like, fluff items. Like this is decor. And we can see that it shows you your ratings, number 4 in damage, number 4 in staying alive, number 3 in heals. Doesn't let you see it. I mean, this reminds me out of Neverwinter, where you would get ratings for your dungeon, but I think Neverwinter's was better because it would actually show you numbers and would show you your ranking compared to everybody else. And this just shows you, you know, you're number 3, number 4, number 4, you know. But what this doesn't say is, like, if I'm a tank, obviously I'm not healing, I'm not doing damage. I sucked at staying alive, though. I guess that's the one thing I could be really rated on. Oh, well. Let's see. Tunic of Empathy, that's light. Agreed. But yeah, when I did this the first time, I had to fight a giant caravan. We had to basically run on top of this caravan, disabled the guns on top of the caravan. Once we did that, the guy that we just fought came in with a battle cruiser support or something like that, where he was firing lasers down from above. The fight was really hard, actually. I was having a hard time dodging most of the moves. And so this is why I think the vote by popularity may not be the best thing. Because you really should experience, I think, each of the options that these have each of the options that these have to give you. Now, adventures and dungeons should level you down. Like, if you ever played Final Fantasy XIV, you know how they do the dungeons in that, where you get leveled down to the dungeon you're in. The bad news is in Final Fantasy XIV, that also means you lose abilities that you should have had, or you lose abilities that you had when you had leveled up. So you won't have some of your more powerful abilities. Your gear is still scaled down, though. I don't know why they do that, because it's all percentage-based anyway. In this, obviously, you get scaled, you don't lose abilities. So you can go back and do these, and they should still be challenging. And I think you should experience each of those outcomes, because you never know if you haven't played one of those scenarios and seen some of those fights. Like the fight to you actually jumping on that caravan and disabling it. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was kind of like trying to catch up to a train and rob it. And I thought it was pretty neat, even if it was very hard. But that's obviously, if you're going to go through those and you're going to do it for efficiency, like people are doing it so they can level up. Because you'll notice I leveled up on that, and so you get a decent amount of experience from doing that. So leveling up is actually not that tedious once you unlock adventures. So if you may have looked at the video I did about just the overview of Wildstar, and I talked about how sometimes leveling up, how getting the level to 15 was a bit of a grind and a little bit tedious. Once you hit 15, it's not really that bad because you start leveling up pretty quick. Now I have heard that doing PvP is a good way to do it too, and you can unlock PvP a lot earlier than adventures. I think you get PvP at like level 10. So you could easily get from 10 to 15 doing PvP, so you don't have to worry about the grind that I was talking about in that one video. But that was pretty cool. That was the adventure. I might see if I can't record another one to see if we do a different version of it to see how it goes. And I'll go ahead and show it to you. And as you saw, that wasn't too long. With a good group, it's not too long. If you've got a group that's not really sure, and since the game is new, we are still in open beta, and of course when the game comes out there's going to be a lot more new players, expect to take a bit longer. As I mentioned, the very first time I ran that, which was my last time running it, it took a very long time because people were running in, charging in, getting a whole bunch of enemies aggro. I was not able to tank. The healer wasn't able to keep up with the damage. It was really terrible, and it was kind of, honestly, I hate to say it was a terrible experience, and almost turned me off to wanting to do this again. But I knew that I was enjoying the game in other aspects, and I wanted to give it another shot. And I wanted to at least do this for you guys so you could see what some of these adventures are like. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, that was the Hycrest Insurrection. I'll see you next time.